rapper who can't stay out of jail. Nah, I'm chilling, man. What I think I'm running away for? I'm chilling. It's 333 right now. It's 333 right now. Big ass head, I can't even see.
We told you 0 to the 4. We said you're gonna go to jail. 0 to the 4 is gonna go to the jail. We said there's not much of you left. That's why you're starting CCK, or you're in CCK. Well, CCK is going away. And as for
he got bars.
524, we're gonna close your cell door.
This nigga got bars. This nigga got bars. CCK, you're gonna go away. Up to the 4, you're gonna go behind bars.
Okay, well, CCK is going away. And as for 524, we're gonna close your cell door.
Lil Bucks was on top of his career, making noise and running Philly before he got locked up last August. Now we're breaking down the crazy story of how everything went down. Bucks is from North Philly, down 24th and Diamond, but when he was young, he moved to West Philly. That's when he started hanging with the guys from 60th and Lansdowne. And that's when he started getting into the streets. Growing up in a tough environment, he faced various struggles, including the loss of his grandmother, which
like,
deeply
comment,
affected
subscribe,
him.
Follow the kick, sub to the Patreon, Instagrams, all that.
His determination
TikToks.
to succeed. His father was incarcerated when Bucks was 11, leaving his mother to raise him and his siblings. The absence of a father figure led him to seek belonging in the streets, eventually getting involved with gangs. This lifestyle resulted in him being in and out of juvenile detention multiple times before focusing on music. By the time he turned 14, Bucks was deep in the trenches, catching cases and making a name for himself. 60th and Lansdowne wasn't just any block. They had ties to 64th and Callow Hill, the block one Mears from. That block's also where one of Buck's close homies got killed. On May 11th, 2018, Sandria Williams, or Bro Bro, was out with 2 other people, walking home on 64th and Carton, when out of nowhere, 2 shooters popped out the cut and start firing down the block. Bro Bro got hit bad. She was rushed to the hospital but didn't make it. The 2 other teenagers she were with, who were both members of 0 to the 4, survived. One of them was Big 4 times from 64th Street, who ended up telling on the shooters.
Nigga told.
Within the hour, Philadelphia homicide detectives updated us on their investigation of a deadly triple shooting last week in West Philadelphia. 17-year-old Sandria Williams was shot and killed in front of her home on the 300 block of North Simpson Street Friday night. Police say 2 gunmen fired more than 20 shots. 2 teenage boys were also injured. Police say Williams was not the target.
Sandria's mom apparently watched the whole thing from the porch. Even though she was a girl, the ops didn't care. 616, or the Fixers claimed the hit and rapped about it, taunting the situation in their tracks. After that, Bucks wasn't playing around no more. He linked with One Mirror, dropped their first track, and the numbers went crazy. That's when they formed 0 to the 4, or the Campers, and things started moving faster than he expected. At first, Bucks wasn't even thinking about taking rap serious, but once he saw how quick that song went up, he couldn't ignore it. Bucks and One Mirror dropped fire after fire like We Spinning 2 and Spin Again. But the thing about Bucks, he couldn't stay out of trouble. He was in and out of jail all through 2020. By December, he was back out again, and that's when he dropped Homicide Camp. That's when everything seemed to be turning around. But it didn't last long. On December 28th, 2020, tragedy struck for 0 to the 4. Bucks lost 2 of his closest homies, Sabir Mack, or Buka, and Frank Smith, or Thule. They were driving down 51st Street, which is in the area that somebody Thule had robbed twice. Is from while they were driving, someone from a set called 524 pulled up and started spraying up the car. Once the cops got to the scene, found them both Buka and Thule shot in their heads in a white Chrysler. They rushed them to the hospital, but unfortunately, both Buka and Thule
People,
didn't
including
make
a teenager, are in critical condition following a shooting in Philadelphia's King Sessing section. Happened at around 6:30 this evening here in the 1200 block of South 51st Street. A 16-year-old and a 21-year-old were both rushed to Penn Presbyterian Hospital. No arrests have been made.
Bucks was torn inside. He said in interviews he almost quit rap after losing his homies, but his squad pushed him to keep going. He had to keep the legacy alive, but the pain didn't stop there. Just 2 months later, on March 11, 2021, Bucks lost another close homie, Lil Mir. He was chilling in a car on 76th Street with some OVP members when somebody snuck up behind the car and started shooting. Mir got hit in his neck and unfortunately didn't survive. 616 once again claimed responsibility for the incident. Amin Hurst from 616 was arrested 2 months later for...
Can't be just sitting in them cars loafing, bro. Chilling, smoking, loafing. Every time I'm in my car, that shit is in motion. I ain't never sitting still in my car unless I'm OT. Far away from danger. Yeah. Far away. In the hood, never. I've never sitting in the car on the phone. I'm out. We got feet on land.
For this murder. He was also arrested for 2 other incidents, including one when he killed a teen outside of prison. All this was hard on Bucks, but he didn't stop grinding. 2 weeks later, he dropped a song called Track Start, and in the description he wrote, "Booka and Thule World, this shit for y'all." Fast forward 3 months later to June, and Bucks found himself locked up again on weapon charges. The very next day, his homie Lil 60 got killed in a shooting on 55th Street. 60 was out walking with his 3-year-old son and his friend Evan. They were apparently trying to sell a car and had just came from 60's mother's house. That's when 2 dudes jumped out of a car and started shooting. 60 and Evan were both hit and neither of them made it. His son was also hit and grazed in his leg and head, but he miraculously survived.
Damn. Damn. They moving mad.
Dudes jumped out of a car and started shooting. 60 and Evan were both hit and neither of them made it. His son was also hit and grazed in his leg and head, but he miraculously survived.
Police say a white SUV pulled up alongside the black Nissan and 2 shooters got out and opened fire. The 2 men near the Nissan were killed. The toddler survived to the hospital.
The 3-year-old male was struck multiple times in the leg.
But the violence wasn't over.
This hit Bucks to the core because him and 60 were both from 60th and Lansdowne, and 60 was like a big brother to Bucks. Bucks had to sit in jail while all this madness was happening around him. And just the next month, on July 21st, 2021, Bucks lost yet another friend. Bucks' homies K3 and Snipe, they gonna play basketball. When out of nowhere, a shooter from YBC hooped out of the car behind them and started spraying up the car. Snipe tried to...
They would have played basketball, nigga hopped out, hooped behind them. Even a documentary nigga talking in ESPN terms.
Bucks' homies K3 and Snipe, they gonna play basketball. When out of nowhere, a shooter from YBC hooped out of the car behind them and started spraying up the car. Snipe tried to hop out and run, but he got hit in his chest and didn't make it. Damn. K3 also got hit in his head and he died later that day.
Today at noon, an hour before the mayor was to address gun violence, 3 teenage males were shot in the 200 block of North 56 that were sitting in a blue Hyundai. A 16 and 18-year-old were shot and killed. A third victim, a 16-year-old, was wounded after being shot in the shoulder. But the mayor doesn't believe a state of emergency declaration is needed.
The shooter was targeting 2 other kids from 0 to the 4 who had hopped in the car. One of them ended up running out the car while the other got hit in the shoulder and survived. Snipe and K3 were both from 56 and Christian. The 56 Street Clappers and YBC were both cool before this happened. And YBC even apologized for killing Snipe and K3 by accident. Damn. But 56 didn't want to hear it.
Niggas
After
apologized?
this, the Campers, 56's Clappers, and some of the Clappers with a K from 7th and South Philly and West Philly teamed up and formed CCK. They all knew either Snipe and K3 and felt like they needed to get revenge for the 2. And 4 months later, they killed a teen named Baz from Nineside. Nineside and YBC are really close. And after K3 and Snipe died, Baz started dissing K3. On November 8th, 2021, Baz was at a bus stop after leaving school when 3 Clappers with a K from CCK pulled up and started shooting. Baz got hit 11 times in his chest and later died at the hospital.
Westminster and Belmont Avenues. Police tell
these little niggas too. 11 times in the chest. These little niggas be 130 pounds. Soaking wet. 3 niggas throwing a switch at you. Not making it, bro.
Tell us a 17 or 18-year-old was killed after getting shot multiple times around 3:30 this afternoon. Officers do not have any information about the second victim just yet.
When Bucks got out in 2022, he started dissing Baz and calling him Bus Stop. Bucks and his new squad start dropping heat. Young Liv from 56 has started dropping tracks with Bucks, and they start running up millions of views together. Then, in March 2022, Bucks got hit with another charge for weapons and gets locked up again. While he was booked, his gang was putting pressure on ops for killing Snipe and K3. On May 13th, 2022, Baby Ka from YBC had posted his location on his story, and just 20 minutes later, while sitting in his car, 2 CCK members walked and killed him.
Southwest Philadelphia police responding to the 1200 block of South 57th Street. It was just before 8:30 tonight. They say they found a 19-year-old man shot multiple times inside his car. He was pronounced dead minutes later. Investigators say 2 men approached the victim's car and opened fire. At least 29 shell casings were found at that scene.
So clearly, this was a targeted shooting and an execution-style killing.
The suspects are still on the run. Police continue to investigate.
When the cops got there, they said BK or Baby K got shot over 20 times.
Damn.
Bucks ended up getting out in later that year, and Bucks starting hanging out in his old hood down 24th and Diamond. This time, Bucks swears to his fans that he's done with jail. He tells his fans he ain't going back, but it's like the DA had it out for him. The DA put out a press conference where he name-dropped CCK and told them that CCK is going away.
We told you 0 to the 4. We said you're going to go to jail. 0 to the 4 is going to go to the jail. We said. Did you hear what ADA Palmer said? There's not much of you left. That's why you're starting CCK.
Yeah, I heard about P. Youngin.
Or you're in CCK.
Crazy.
CCK is going away. And as for 524, we're going to close your cell door. When it comes to Christy Rec, you'll be getting your yard time when you're doing hard time. So think about it, because the time to think about it is past.
On December 5th, J100 from YBC was walking to his Uber when he was gunned down.
Oh, he's not
CCK
dead?
and Lil Buck started trolling Jay not even 10 minutes after it happened, and it was clear that they were the...
Bro, he's not dead. I thought he was dead. He's not dead? That's crazy if he's not dead.
ones involved. But just a week after this CCK got wrapped up in an indictment, Bucks' homies, Skip and Pistol, got hit with multiple charges for different homicides. They even shot over 12 people in a single day. CCK was catching heat everywhere. His homie Hefe also got wrapped up in this indictment, but he ended up going on the run. Even with all this drama, Bucks didn't stop rapping about all the drama his gang was getting into. In March 2023, his homie HL Osama, who had been locked up since 2020, finally came home, and him and Bucks got really close. Bucks kept the music rolling, and he started dropping track after track with the hottest in the city. He started linking with OT7 Kwani and Leaf Ward, making moves, getting millions of views on everything. By the 4th of July, Bucks threw a huge party in his hood on 24th and Diamond. Everybody came through, thousands of people, and the whole city showed up. Bucks even shot a music video with his fans in the background. But surprisingly, nothing popped off that night. Then, in August, Leaf got arrested. He was with his girl, taking her out for a date when he saw a tow truck hooking up his Hellcat. Leaf ran at the tow truck driver, but ran back in the store after he saw the cops. The cops ended up chasing him down. He tossed a weapon with a switch on it in a trash can before they caught him. One of the workers saw that and ended up telling the cops. He was facing over 20 years. Bucks was left to grind solo now because OT7 had left the city. Just a week later, Bucks got arrested walking down downtown Philly with a friend. His homie went live, recording the whole thing. In jail, Bucks kept his head high. He was even seen freestyling on a phone call with HL Osama. The day after that video call, HL was chilling with some females on 61st Street when shots rang out.
Breaking overnight, a shooting in the city's Overbrook section left 2 people in critical condition. It happened on the 1500 block of North 61st Street at 10:30 p.m. Police say they found a 19-year-old woman and a man possibly in his 20s, both shot in the abdomen and torso. The 2 were taken to Lankenau Hospital. Witnesses saw the suspected gunman fleeing south on 61st Street.
He got hit bad and didn't make it. It was another loss Bucks had to take. Bucks was also getting into a lot of fights in jail at this time, so he was pretty stressed out. His mom had to call the jail and get Bucks transferred to a different jail for his safety. His ops starting trolling him after this and saying stuff like, "You let her mom switch her jail, that's not gangster." But it didn't stop there. Just 2 months later, Bucks lost another homie, Sparky, from 60th Street. He got killed while walking on Salford Street. It was a cold game, and every time Bucks thought he could catch a break, something bad happened. Eventually, Lil Bucks was sentenced to 3 years, but with good behavior, he might get out early. On May 18th, 2024, another one of Bucks' childhood friends, Qua, was gunned down. He was walking on 55th in Baltimore while waiting for a girl, when 4 YBC members pulled up and boxed him in.
Philadelphia police investigating the city's latest homicide this morning. NBC 10 in West Philly overnight, where a man was shot and killed outside of a Chinese takeout restaurant. This is Baltimore Avenue near 55th Street. Investigators were called here shortly after 11 o'clock last night. They have not said anything about what may have led up to the shooting. So far, no arrests.
I ain't gonna lie, dude was fed. I ain't gonna lie. Dude was fed. Niggas killed a nigga on Baltimore Street. Nigga dude put out the song Baltimore. But nigga on Baltimore got the belt. RP to him. But I'm saying, so was a fed. That little nigga was hot. That's some hot shit right there. That's police activity.
Think that he was set up by a girl. YBC starting trolling hard after this because they had finally got back for their homies. YBC Duel even made a whole song called Baltimore, where he rapped shout out to the DMV, but some body on Baltimore just got the belt. 4 shooters jumped right out, hit him 12 times, they did it well. But then in August, Dole got killed while driving around in Olney. Buck still has the city watching, and now with Dole being dead, when he comes home, he's gonna be even bigger. His journey ain't over, and hopefully he can turn his life around once he comes home.
Right.
If you like this video, make sure to check out the rest of my content and subscribe.
Good video, Philly. Scoreboard. Good shit. That was a good video.